Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, Bitchute channel, and my Facebook at True Divine 44. The True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, greatly appreciated, and much love to everybody who is doing that thus far. I appreciate you all. So this is where I combine the tarot work that I do and the energy work that I do to bring you a narrative that will help you guide your day, help you reach your highest potential each day. It is general, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Apart from that, any comments? Great. I love to see how you're all getting along and if the readings resonated and how you're going to use them or how you have been using them or what your interpretation is of them for you. What else? This is for the 6th of January 2020. I'll try and get the title, the date and the title correct this time. I keep making a mess of that. I know it's an important day for sure. As far as this elongated spell has been going, you know, 6 is an important number to them. They've misrepresented it and made it something very different to what it is, but it is important to them. So we know that for the good of us, the representation of man, we're going to see, you know, that they are going to try and hijack that in various different ways. So we have got, believe it or not, the Judgment card on the bottom of the deck again. So this is speaking to, you know, finally getting that deeper meaning, that deeper intuition about self. Emerging from the darkness into, they're still grounded in the darkness, but it's a different kind of darkness. It's a darkness that is like the dark woman manifest, full of potentiality, full of possibilities. They can hear the hum, they can hear the sound of the mother, they can hear the draw of the divine, saying this way, the magnet, the magi and the magnet in them is pulling them on their way, on their path. So a lot of you, again, this is a developing energy. It's not, there's lots of snaps, bings, light on energies within this Judgment card, but a lot of it has been progressive and growing, expansive and expanding. And this is where we ultimately, to get the true energy of the Judgment card, we need to let go of the fear of judgment of others. We need to finally shed the skin of everything that does not serve us, everything, not to be compromising, to be truly divine, truly sovereign, and to work to fulfill your path, to know and fulfill what your purpose is here, what really resonates with you. What have you learned along the way that you can take forward? What have you learned in here, in this divine feminine part of self, this dark woman manifest that has all of the potential ready to be drawn on it like the stars are drawn on the night sky? This is huge. This is for those that can't see and can't hear this sound and can't feel it. It feels like we're speaking in a foreign language. There's no understanding of this energy. Yet for those with the connection to self and the connection to the divine and the divine in themselves and the connection to the all, they can hear it loud and clear. And it's almost hard for me and others to put into words what this means, what this is, because it is so powerful. It's almost, it is overwhelming in the sense that it's to grasp onto it is the wrong thing to try and do here today. To just be in flow with it is the right thing to do and the right way to go about it today. To grasp onto this energy today and to try and to define every part of it, I think would be to limit it, because there would still be an aspect of that indoctrinated human mind within the scope of that. But to be able to be in flow and feel your way through it today will bring such inner standings to so many, will bring so many light bulb moments, will bring so much development of your higher consciousness that I'm excited to hear from any of you. You can email, you can leave a comment, however you feel comfortable exchanging what this day and what this judgment meant for you, because it would be super interesting for me to know too. And so that's on the bottom of the deck. So that's the underpinning energy of this whole reading for the 6th of January. On the bottom of the other deck that we clarified with is the Queen of Cups. So again, this is speaking to the emotional self, the waters, the body's waters. You can feel it in your waters. This energy here, you can feel it in your waters. Every particle, every crystal in your waters is impregnated with this energy, resonating and vibing with the hum of this divine feminine energy, connecting with your intuition, connecting with your gut instincts, connecting with your inner knowing. This is the very psychic queen, the Queen of Cups. This is the queen that is of balanced emotions, not overly charged emotions. Doesn't that moon look so bright in this card with the light? So not overly charged emotions, but in balance, able to channel those emotions rather than those emotions channeling her. And so this is for male and female, for the divine feminine energy to be woken up, to not be too much mind right now. That would be wrong. Although we're coming into, rolling into this age of Aquarius, which is air. Aquarius is the oddball. Look at my little Theodore. He's out of the box. He thinks differently. I've got an Aquarius moon and I'm a bit quirky, to say the least. It's the different way of being, different way of thinking. And Aquarius, being Aquarius represented in the tarot, is the water bearer. It's an air sign, but it's the water bearer. It's the Temperance card. And so here we've got this energy, and it's speaking of that we need to reconnect with these waters, with this divine feminine, because it's what we impregnate our waters with. Look at that study where you can talk to 2 jars of water, 2 jars of rice, and talk to them, label them with positive words, negative words, and you'll see either in the negative jar, distorted, unsymmetrical, not very pretty crystals, or you'll see mold in the rice, or you'll see very symmetrical, very perfect, very much genomic shapes, beautiful shapes. And so we'll see those sacred shapes in the waters that are spoken over positively. And so we need to sort of reestablish ourselves with our intuition so that we can lift ourselves out of that we need to shed away from, that we need to leave behind, and take up what we need to take forward, and know that we connect with this next cycle. We connect with this by first connecting with our gut, our intuition, being able to think outside the box, and also being able, under whatever circumstances, to impregnate our waters with freedom words, beautiful, abundant words and thoughts and deeds. And so this is Aquarius, it's the air water bearer. And so it brings forward the ability in the Temperance card to transmute those energies, to cross them over your heart chakra. It's not actually too much mind, although the Aquarius is very clever, very dynamic, the energy of it. It's to use this heart chakra, to use the brain tissue within the heart that actually resonates on a much higher frequency than this up here. And so we've got those as the underpinning energies of the day. And so this is what will guide you in the best way. We've got the Fool card, the 0 point. So here we've got this childlike energy, in that it is ready to explore, ready to look at the new, ready to go forward on their journey, on their path. You couldn't get more promising and more prominent than having the Judgment card and then the Fool card here, to know that we go forward, not knowing the the dangers along the way necessarily, not knowing the pain that might be on that particular path here and there, but actually knowing that and being able to just have the confidence and the higher frequency to know that, but I'll just experience that too. And I'll just draw from that positive lessons to take me even further on my path. I'll experience all of that in order to liberate myself from whatever it is that I've drawn in to experience in that fashion. And just as likely, the blissful moments, I'll experience those too. I've got everything I need. I'm light. Look, this is the whole luggage for the journey. So there's a lightness to this being. There's a lightness to this energy. Even though there are crashing waves and there's a cliff that is about to go off, but he's not thinking, will I sink or swim? He's just thinking, I need to go this way. I'm being drawn this way. And so there's confidence in this childlike high frequency, high vibe energy of, well, I'm just here. I'm just doing this and I'm just going to experience this. And I know I'll get through this. And I know I'll get through this, not just scraping by, but I'll get through this really well. I'll get through this full of abundance in whatever area I manifest that abundance. And so then we have the 3 of coins to clarify this Fool card. And this is representative of the master builder, the person who can build and delegate and be followed by others. Others want to follow by example. So by you taking and embodying the energy of the Fool, people are watching your high frequency when you're thinking amongst all of the things that are going on right now. You're thinking, what can I do? What can one person do? The frequency that you set off in your aura, in your electromagnetic field, as this Fool card energy has an effect. People are watching, people are taking note, people are looking up. That's exactly what you can do today. This is exactly how you have a huge impact upon what is going on right now. And you have a huge impact in following your purpose here. For a lot of you, it is to help liberate the divine feminine energy. For a lot of you, it is to help liberate all of the chains that bind so many, that are false chains, that are veils that have been put over things within these built up systems by a very few, that is, in my eyes, directed by some very different beings indeed. And that's why it's been going on for so long, generation to generation, and those family lines don't go that far out of the gene pool, put it that way. And so this is where you are being watched, you are being looked up to. You not that this Fool card wants to be the leader in any which way, but by your example, by your vibe that you put out, you are, in that people are watching, people are taking note, and people are ready to not follow you, but follow those footsteps of freedom, of liberation, of this childlike energy for being here, for experiencing this life, and more so to be in this exciting time to help be a part of liberating this realm that we're in, and liberating those that are more vulnerable than us, and for the generations thereafter. This is a huge privilege and honor to me, and I know it is to many of you. And so the next card is the 8 of Wands. And so we've got this movement, and it is swift movement today. It's big, fast, highly charged movement, flying through the air. Air feeds fire. And so these messages, this movement, these things that are being said and done by people, it feeds a fire. There's a lot of flame to this, and a lot of people could get burnt if they're not in control of their emotions, if they are not able to channel their emotions rather than their emotions channel them with this Queen of Cups. Follow their instinct instead of being led into a trap. Meeting up at a certain place, being distracted, trying to save somebody, a seat. So with this 8 of Wands, we've got this 10 of Wands. It brings for a lot of people an end to a very burdensome cycle. Now, for some people, I do feel that this is where arrests are made fairly, unfairly, more likely unfairly, that have been led into a trap where they can be arrested easily. And so, but at the same time, with this being the 10 of Wands, it feels like the energy of giving that time to contemplate, to see, again, going back to this underpinning energy, what needs to be let go of here? How did I get to this situation, this point? So, and for a lot of people in your individual lives, there's a lot of burdensome, there's a lot of passion to you finally having a release to walk the path that you feel driven to walk. There's a lot of tension that is also built up dualistically, where people are looking up to you. There's a lot of tension by others in your life regarding this swift change of mind in their eyes, although it's not. You've given plenty of hints, warnings, discussions to say that this is the direction you want to move in. It brings, actually, yes, very hot, very heavy, very, burdensome, but it actually brings some relief with this 10 of Wands. 10 of Swords, to clarify that 10 of Wands, huge cycles in people's lives ending today. That does not feel nice at all, not gonna lie, but it does bring a release from something that has been holding you back, something that has been keeping you down, keeping you away from where you feel driven to go to, keeping you away from that center point, that point of the navigational point of just being able to follow where you need to follow. This card here is the Justice card, number 11, Major Arcana. You can see here there's the scales in one hand and the Sword of Truth in the other. This is where people's hearts are weighed. This is where some people are going to find a lot of court cases being announced or being presented or being heard, especially with the distractions that are going on today in the US. The mainstream doesn't want these covered, or the people that control the mainstream don't want these covered. So a lot of hidden court cases, just not through them actually hiding them. They give themselves that reprieve by saying, well, you were distracted. We did tell you in a tiny little sentence at the bottom of the paper. So this is where we'll get the justice that we deserve. And so for those who go along with the narrative still, for those who are still fighting for one side or the other in politics, for those that are still clinging on to that they know does not serve them, that is not on their true path, that is not in their true alignment, then the justice will be that that cycle continues and intensifies. We have to clarify the King of Swords here. So air, again, this again is law, authority. So for this to clarify justice, there is a lot of information that is divulged today regarding so-called breaking of the law. There's a lot of things to come out today, France, US and the UK, regarding things that involve law, things that involve lawsuits, things that involve arrests. But the King of Swords is that of, in the upright, is of a very authoritative, yes, but very wise, intellectual, thoughtful, masculine energy. And so this is where there are many today, many key players that a lot of people, particularly in the so-called powers that be, and again, this is worldwide because a lot of these so-called powers that be are working for a very small group of the same people, where they underestimate, they underestimate the these people that have had enough, that actually do not represent this, and did not realize getting into the political game or the legal game that they were getting into this, that we see today, the injustices, the bully boys, whether that's in the police or politics. And so we have the Chariot card, another major arcana to clarify. Look how fast and swift this movement is. There's no messing. Make no mistake, we are the physical aspect right now of the spiritual war that we're in also. We are the layer in the physical layer realm, that we are the manifestation of what we are doing in spirit, and what others are doing in spirit, or what we would call spirit. This is to bring and rebalance, recalibrate. And so there is swift movement, and actually an underestimation, you know what I mean, of the strength that has been stirring up within people, and actually the strength of the unseen, the strength of the frequencies that they've been hijacking as they come into this planet. They can't even build a satellite big enough to hijack enough of them. This is still coming in, and it's swift, and things are speeding up today. Huge amounts of speed regarding what is happening in the spiritual realm, and what is then going to be reflected in this physical realm. I'm going to clarify that a bit further, because I know it's a big day. So we've got the wheel of fortune. So again, going back to the justice will be done as to what people deserve. If people are still buying into the narrative, if people are still buying into these systems, if people are still buying into this masculine dominant, abusive, narcissistic veil that has been put over this realm, then that is what they will see more of. That is what they'll experience. This is another huge twist in the separation of the frequencies. For those who have been seeing the truth, for those who have been weighing their hearts, for those who have been speaking truth, for those who have been fighting for justice, for themselves and for others that are more vulnerable, then that is what we'll see. That we'll see this wheel turn, and it'll turn in a different direction. It's like with this separation, a picture two wheels alongside each other, and we've got high frequency rolling this way and low frequency rolling this way, and slowly but surely they separate more and more and more with each turn of the wheel. And that's what we're seeing with the procession of this new cycle and the higher consciousness really being birthed. We're seeing this rolling separation of the two. And, you know, it's almost like, and it already is in a way, you know, a lot of us of high frequency are looking around thinking, are we here? Is this real? Are they just pretending to be that? Or are they not? Do they really believe that? Do they not read things? Do they not hear things? Can they not see? Can they not feel? Can they not be drawn like a magnet towards this energy? No. So it does feel like the possibility, and I know it's a bit out there for some, that this is sort of what they speak of, and they're trying to limit how much occurs of this sort of rapture type experience. And basically, we know that we manifest our reality through our thoughts, then our words, then our deeds. So that would speak to different frequencies, different levels of frequencies manifesting different realities. Now, when there wasn't such a divide of and such an extreme of frequencies at either side, You know, we were manifesting good, bad, here and there, here and there. You know, it was a mix. It wasn't very noticeable. But because of these energies, it's just like a rip, isn't it, across this realm of... And so we can see this separation, we can feel it, and we can see how different the two sets of different frequencies, the choosing of the lane, will bring about completely different realities for each that dwell within each. So the Six of Swords comes out to clarify this string from the Justice card here. So we've got Justice, King of Swords, Chariot. So we've got the Justice. Justice will be done as per your thoughts, words, your deeds. Court cases in secret. This authority coming forward, this divine masculine authority with this King of Swords that is of truth. Truth is leaking out of their fingers. They can't keep a hold of it. Who can keep a hold of air very well? And so there's a lot of truths to be divulged today for those who can see and for those who can hear. We've got the Chariot, swift changes happening in the spiritual realm, which is being manifested in this physical realm. We've got the 10 again, so we've got 3 10s. Wow. So that would be down to a 3. Wow. 3 10s. So then we've got the 10 as the wheel. You know, the wheel will turn and continue to separate these two frequencies as per the frequency that you're holding. And then we've got the 6 of Swords, again, more air. The 6 of Swords is seeing the game, growing through the game. The 6 of Swords is being strategic, being moving over to stillness, still waters within, in order to be able to think and discern clearly. Look at this game, that there's strategy here. And so where there's strategy being played in the so-called powers that be, there is strategy being played in these energies that are being felt within many of us, seeing the game for what it is, seeing the veil that has been put over the game. Finally, this King of Swords energy revealing the instructions that these beings have been playing by. Wow. Huge. Yikes. One more card to clarify. What do people need to know most today? What's the leave-in message for today? What's the full stop message for today? 10. Hangman on the bottom of the deck, seeing things from a different perspective, being enlightened, moving away from the physical world for a moment to be able to truly discern and truly see through enlightenment. The Hangman brings enlightenment down to the lower realms of self by turning upside down, brings the enlightenment, the higher consciousness down into the depths of the 3D physical, to be able to truly see and discern what is going on in this 3D physical from a totally different perspective. Through enlightenment, we see things so differently. So seeing the game again from a different perspective, looking at it in a different way. And the last card to send you away with is the 10. So we've got 4 10s. Wow. That would make up a 4 with the 1, 1, 1, 1. 4. The 4 elements plus the high consciousness of the Hangman. That's pretty damn cool. So the 10 of Cups. This is bringing generations together. This is alignment. This is wholeness. This is being emotionally connected. Look, there's generations of the family here, with a harvest, with a feast, with all of the containers that can contain the love, the energy of togetherness, of connectedness. This is where we are heading. Now, they're going to try and make it as bumpy as they can today. They're going to try and make the journey as bumpy as they can. But going against the narrative, going against these rules of disconnection from one another, of the divide and conquer type tactics, going against all of that and seeking love, seeking connectedness, seeking togetherness, putting your family first. You know, I'm talking much more ancient times even than documented, but although even documented ancient times, if you were to tell somebody that you would put a political figure, a royal figure, a Hollywood actor or actress, for goodness sake, and take their advice ahead of what you can physically see and feel is good for your family, they would have thought you were crazy. They would have thought you were crazy. They're deliberately trying to take connectedness away from us, because in that connection, in that all type energy, there is nothing they can do against us all. Even not us all. I mean us all as in those that can see and those that can hear. We are enough. There is enough of us. But we do need to start making more of a stand. We do need to start being this fool. And, you know, I'm not saying cause any violence. I'm not saying cause anything like that that would cause harm. That would be against the age of Aquarius. But to just pretend like you didn't hear the rules. To go forward, go out, connect, be with people, and act like you didn't even, those rules don't apply to me. I don't recognize that authority that put out those rules. I have my own divine authority. If enough people had done that, because they've tried to do this same type of takeover over and over again, to somewhat successful degrees and some very successful degrees and some very not successful degrees. So when people think, what can I do? There were plenty of people and all of those other times that they've tried this type of takeover that it just said, no, I don't recognize that authority. I don't recognize that directive. It didn't come from a source that I recognize as an authority to me, because I'm authority in itself for me. So that's the reading for the 6th of January 2020. I hope it helps. I hope it makes your day more understandable, more understandable, in a way that you can reach your highest possible potential today, regarding the whole day. You know, and I can't tell anybody what to do, and I wouldn't presume to do so. But this letting go malarkey, it really is key. Letting go of this whole system, that if anybody is going anywhere to speak out, to protest, it would be to pull all of them up on all of their silly contradictions and lies and mistruths, to pull the whole system up in its entirety, to see the game, the 6 of Swords again. And it's a dramatic, it's a very believable game, but when your eyes open, it's like you think, how did that fool us? How did they get us like that? It's blatant. So if anything, be speaking out regarding the whole thing. That's what needs to change. With Temperance on the bottom of the deck, just to prove it to you. Age of Aquarius. Being able to transmute those energies, even the most negative, into something that would be positive. and of light, and that will take you forward in a good way. Much love. Leave a comment. Please, please, please share the work that I do. It really does help. Let's get the subscribers up, you know. I'm not going to go into it, but it would be really great if they went up, and I would appreciate any of the help that you can give towards that. You can look up my PayPal, you can look up how to get in touch with me, truedivinemedia@gmail.com, and Facebook truedivine44 in the description box below for any spiritual guidance, any energy work, or any tarot readings. And they're all done by Zoom. You get a recording of the sessions. You can go back to it as many times as you like. Just email me and let me know. The energy work and the spiritual coaching can go from anywhere from womb healing, male or female, to particularly female, but a lot of things are passed down in the womb before we're even birthed into this realm. You know, that those generational things that we absorb even while we're in there, right up to the inner child, and right up to the current, the dealing with all of that within you and balancing it out in your current stage that you are at right now. So I appreciate any of the new clients, and I appreciate all of the new clients that have been coming forward potentially, and who have already done so. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Mwah. Love you all. Stay safe.